You ever watch someone decide you're lying and then treat it like their personal mission to prove it? Because I started a new office job a few months ago, and for a little while everything was normal. I showed up, did my work, learnt names, kept my head down. The only unusual thing about me is the fact I have a medical alert service dog. He's not a comfort pet. He's not an accessory. He's trained. He's saved my life more than once. I have a serious heart condition. Sometimes I pass out with little warning. My dog alerts before it happens, and those seconds matter. The difference between me sitting down safely and me hitting the floor. So when I took the job, I did everything by the book. I notified the right people. I kept things professional. My dog stayed focused and quiet. Most of my co-workers either didn't care or were politely curious, and that was fine. Then one co-worker decided I was a problem. It started with little performances. Every time she saw me walk in with my dog, she'd say it loud enough for half the room to hear. Pets aren't allowed in the office. I explained calmly more than once that he's a service dog, not a pet. I showed the documentation I'm comfortable sharing. I kept it brief because I shouldn't have to justify my medical history to someone who's basically a stranger. But she wasn't asking to understand. She was collecting evidence for a story she already believed. She started telling people I was faking, that I look too young to be disabled. You know, that specific kind of ignorance that comes with a smug smile, like disability has a minimum age requirement. Then she started testing my dog. Little games, dropping food near him to see if he'd break training, standing too close, watching him like she wanted him to mess up so she could go, aha. But my dog is trained. He ignored it every time, which only seemed to annoy her more. And then she went full campaign mode. She reported me to HR constantly, over and over, like clockwork. Different complaints, same goal, get me gone. HR spoke to me, confirmed everything was fine, and that should have been the end of it. It wasn't. Because that's when she did something that crossed the line from annoying to dangerous. She started wearing strong perfume, not just a scent. I mean that heavy, aggressive kind that fills a hallway. And it didn't stop at perfume. She'd spray air freshener around my desk area too. Like she was fogging the place on purpose. That scent triggers my condition. It messes with me fast. Dizziness, heart racing, the whole spiral. And the day it really hit, my dog alerted 3 times. 3. In one day, I had to step away, sit down, breathe through it, and every time I looked up, there she was, acting innocent, like, "Oh, is something wrong?" That was the moment I realized this wasn't just office gossip anymore. This was someone intentionally trying to provoke a medical episode and then blame me for existing. Still, I didn't explode. I didn't scream. I documented what I could. I kept going, because I'm not the kind of person who wants drama at work. I just want to do my job and go home alive. Then the final straw hit. I found out she'd been taking photos of me and my service dog at work. and posting them in an online group dedicated to exposing fake service dogs. She included my full name. She included where I work. Strangers were commenting on me like I was entertainment, like I was a scam they could solve. People I've never met were throwing around theories, tips, and ways to catch me. That's not just harassment. That's doxing. That's putting a target on my back. So I took screenshots of everything, every post, every comment, every identifying detail. I took it to HR and said, as calmly as I could, "This is what's happening, and I don't feel safe." They fired her on the spot for harassment and creating a hostile work environment. I wish I could tell you that was the end. It wasn't. Because once she was gone, my inbox got flooded. Messages from her friends, her family. People who weren't there, who didn't see what she did, who didn't live in my body or feel that dizziness creeping in while someone freshened the air around my desk. They all said the same thing in different words. You're the problem. That I'm an asshole for getting a mother of 3 fired over a dog. That I should have just worked from home if I'm so sick. That I should have been more understanding. And I'll be honest, it messed with my head. Because I do feel horrible that her kids are affected. Kids don't deserve instability because their parent made awful choices. But then I remember the facts. She tried to publicly label me a fraud because I didn't look the way she wanted a disabled person to look. She tried to bait my service dog into failing. She reported me over and over to try to get me punished. She intentionally triggered my condition. She posted my name and workplace online to strangers and asked for help exposing me. That's not concern. That's not mistaken. That's not a misunderstanding. That's targeted harassment, and it put my safety at risk. I didn't get her fired. She got herself fired, one choice at a time, because she couldn't accept that some disabilities are invisible and some accommodations aren't optional. And the thing that keeps sitting with me is this. If I'd stayed quiet to protect her job, who would have protected me? Because the next test could have ended differently. The next perfume cloud could have dropped me to the floor. The next online post could have escalated into someone showing up at my workplace to prove something. I don't want revenge. I never did. I just want to be left alone to live my life, do my job, and go home. So, here's my question for you tonight. If someone kept trying to expose you, endangered your health, and then doxed you online, would you feel guilty when consequences finally caught up with them, or would you call it what it is? Self-inflicted